Hey everybody, Steven here, playing Subnautica Below Zero, and today just going to highlight some of the updates that have happened over the last couple weeks in-game. Now I've done some live videos before on this, but they actually added some more stuff today that I'm going to cover, along with some of the stuff that I've covered in those other videos. I just know that they separate the live videos from the regular ones here, but first thing we're going to look at is they've added a kind of like commander room for the first portion of the crashed ship here. So you actually have to go through a vent in order to get here, but if we kind of float through this and come up here, so this is kind of the, I don't know, command area for this, and we have a PDA here. I'll just ghost in really quick and see if this even has anything in it right now. Nope. But yeah, you do actually have to go through the vent system in order to get here. So it's not something that you can just cut open the laser door here, or use the laser cutter to open the door here. Let's go back into free cam. So they've added that in. They've actually tweaked the behaviors of the Cryptosuchus as well. Don't know if we can get them to do that. Let's see. Which these guys, by the way, one of those interesting things. See if I can grab one of these guys. Of course, it's going to come attack me. Oh, there it is. The behavior is supposed to change. Whoa! But he's filled his body with air and he just takes off. Thought you could pick these guys up too, though. Guess not. But they're chomping. There it is. There you go. So that is different there. Let's hop out of here. They did say that they had some engine optimization stuff. That's one of those things a little bit harder to see. I've just noticed more detail with the game engine as I've played it more and more. The update that they did, about a month ago. Just noticing more and more of the details, the reflection on the water, all these different things here. Uh-oh. The guy's breaching the top there. That looks pretty cool. So let's bring this back off. They've done some tweaks to the thermal plant. I guess the areas that have the capacity to have a thermal plant, they've tweaked those. I haven't really toyed around with that much, other than going into this area here where I tried to build a base with one of the live videos and just played around with that for a little bit. But apparently they've tweaked some of that stuff. Haven't messed with it yet. Haven't tweaked that. The bubbles in the ice, that's something that I thought it was the dots, and I mentioned this in the previous live video. It is more than just that. You can see them right there. They're actual, there we go. I didn't see it in the other ones, and then finally at the beginning of the game it was more apparent. I thought it was just the little speckles here. That's been in there for a while. This right here, yeah, you can see the bubbles here. It's just a nice touch. It looks really, really cool. I will say that's one of the, I don't know, better looking aspects of the game. Is like they've just done a phenomenal job with the look of the ice. But yeah, they have bubbles in the ice now. And let's go ahead and go back into free cam. We're gonna go over to the, I don't know, iceberg area. Let's see, do they tweak this? No, that's still the same. Any tweaks to that? No, still not. But once we actually go over here, in a video where I was highlighting this for the first time, they had the plants here, but they've actually tweaked all of this stuff now. So we can see the detail work on the actual iceberg. Looks really, really good. And then coming here and looking underneath the plants, just more detail work with all of this. Some added additions to it. But it still has the same problem with it. Let's bring our fog back on. Where if you go up to grab this, it just multiplies it. So it's the ice fruit. It just keeps multiplying. Interesting to see the bottom of it though, right there. And then add in, like I said, just more fine detail work where you can actually see the sun coming through and actually giving that glare on the ice. Looks really, really good. Let's take this off. Let's go back into free cam. And just overall more detail on the underneath portion of the ice here, on the icebergs. I just think that looks really, really good. And there's a tunnel, yep, to kind of cruise through here. It's been in there, just one of those things that messed around with a little bit more. But yeah, they have these ice fruit over here. Which, let's go back with the fog. Yeah. And let's add in daytime. There we go. Disappeared on me. Yeah, like completely disappeared on me. So we have the ice fruit over here. There's just little tunnels through all this stuff now. No rhyme or reason to it right now. Although, we talked about this before. I mean, this whole thing looks like it's meant to actually look like something. And for me, we got like a claw right here, right? Looks like the head of something. To me, it looks like the Sea Emperor Leviathans. Like, we got the claws right there. This kind of looks like the top of the head. We got a tail. Got just basically another claw. So it looks like it actually has the shape of something. That's just me trying to layer that on there. With the satellite crashing here, I don't know if this actually has to do something more with the impact of that. You know what I mean? Because it creates... I don't know if it's necessarily a crater, but that impact right there probably created and formed some of this stuff. So we have that in there right now. And we are going down into the crystal caves and the fabricator caverns. So let's go in here. Covered this in the live video. They've just added more detail, if I can find it, right here. So this texture on the wall where it's not smooth anymore and it actually has like a rocky formation to it. They've done that through not only the crystal caves, but the fabricator caverns as well. It looks really, really good. And then we're seeing, and I knew it, yeah. So I was wondering if the minerals and all that were randomly generated. I was just playing this earlier, and this is randomly generated for sure. But we have copper down here, glass, titanium. And you'll just find larger chunks. All the lithium everywhere. The uranite. See if we can find any larger chunks. But I mean, essentially, once you start going into this portion of the game in these biomes, they're kind of making it so you don't have to go back, because backtracking would suck. Plus, this isn't necessarily open world. I mean, it is, but not like the first game. This is, I mean, it has that linear story, so they're kind of pushing you towards this the whole time. Yeah, we got our quartz there. This just looks really good. It's crazy just seeing it come along, and now that we have texture in certain areas where it doesn't look flat, looking better and better. And this is where you can see, alright, that was flat, now we have texture to this. Of course we have our butthole plants here that actually have, they're not blacked out, it actually has texture on that as well. Especially the bottom here, when you're looking at just the base of it. That looks weird. I do still think that they're going to put something in the middle of this, just like the other plants in the... I can't remember what the name of them are. I have scanned them. Where are these things? Right here. I think it'll be one of those deals where there's something in the middle of it, like this. What are these? These are, hold on.
Passing 100 meters. Oxygen efficiency
I forgot the name of these things.
Passing 200 meters. Oxygen
Crystal plant. There we go.
Decreased.
Doesn't give any info right now. And then, of course, same thing, covered this in the other live video. We have our third entryway that we can go. So they kind of created this third point to come in here. A little bit tighter fit. But we get to go a different path if we want to. They've added in more just crystals, I guess, what we're going to call them. Because they're different than the crystals in the crystal cavern, or the crystal caves, but they're still crystals here. But because they've added all the little small chunks here, it just looks way better. Especially now looking at the fabricator base. This just looks so much better. They haven't changed anything on the inside of this. Of course, covered the massive wall that we have here. That is still the same. I don't know if we'll see any right now, but we do have our larger chunks of minerals. There we go. There's some titanium, but those will be kind of strung about here. And our creepy shadow leviathans. You have the triops in here somewhere. I don't know if I'll find one. There we go. But the coloring's a little bit different than the other version. Or those are trivalves. Yeah, you can pick those guys up. Alright, then we are going over to the frozen Leviathan. And I talked about this in the previous live video, but they said on the Subnautica Changes Twitter account that they raised the walls, the ice walls, and I'm pretty sure that that actually is very specific to the glacial basin here. When you are here now, this just all seems much bigger. We'll ghost in. Like, that just looks way taller to me. Maybe one of those things that they just said it and it's in my head, but it sure does look taller. It just seems like you're more engulfed in this area, which is really, really cool. And if we go back in a free cam really quick, it's one of those biomes that, like, when I get the top-down view, which looks really cool, like the size of this thing. There we go. And just all the little nooks and crannies that you can go down. It looks way, way bigger. It's hard to navigate when you're down there. But yeah, that, right, especially like right here, just seems like this is way taller now. But you guys let me know in the comments if that's just in my head or if that does look like these walls have gotten taller. Yeah, same thing here. Just looks taller. I mean, this has always been tall, so I don't know if that'd be a difference here, but let's ghost in here too. Like, scale-wise, it just seems bigger. Maybe it's just brought to my attention now. So we have that. Let's go back over to, it's going to zoom me off again, isn't it? Nope. Okay. So let's go to the frozen Leviathan here. And so they've tweaked this now. This is another, I guess this is a more substantial addition. Now, if I leave this, by the way, because I know people are going to be like, hey, you know you can walk out of here, right? And the water will go away. It'll actually take it out of the whole map if I do that now. And that's, if I start at the top, a couple different ways you can do it. You can start up here and it'll usually queue it out, or you can backtrack through here. If I backtrack through this area right here, it'll actually take the water out of the whole game. I don't know if that's just a glitch that does that there, but I haven't messed with going up top, but we won't be here long. So we have ice in here now, right? You can see a couple different spots where you have the ice. I think that looks really, really cool. the wall is different here now too. It's not just open. You actually have like the staggered, I don't know, ice, rock, whatever this thing is, whatever that formation is. And you see it all the way around the base here too. Looks really, really cool. Same thing, just more attention to detail and the work that they're putting in. Also, this is crashed down now. It's not up there anymore, right? Other than that, I'm not seeing any differences with what's right here. We still have that. Pop in through this guy right here. Coming up, and then this is still the same. It was creepy. But yeah, you can see that this is crashed down right here. So, like I said, more additions. They still haven't finished out this tunnel area here. Just as plain Jane like that for right now. But I do like, just like I said, the detail work that they've done here, where it's not just an open room anymore. And that's really what I've been seeing this last couple weeks, is just more and more detail work, as I'm assuming they're just really prepping for story changes from Jill Murray. But as of right now, we don't have any of that in-game. Now there's been some adjustments to some tech side stuff that I haven't really seen any of that yet. I'm curious what they're going to do with this iceberg here. I have seen that this seems to be different. They've tweaked this a little bit. I think that just means that that's the height that they're going to try and build it at. Wonder if they're going to add more icebergs here. Hopefully, fingers crossed. But yeah, I haven't noticed the changes to the tech site yet, but I haven't gone to every single one to make sure that they've done anything. Bug fixes is the other thing that I've seen. So right now, people are having trouble with ladders, like either collapsing or throwing them off the map or not working. Like, there's just a bunch of little detailed stuff like that that they've tweaked. Let's see. I know these have been in-game, so I don't know if they've added more. I know this will probably be the next thing that we're going to see, just getting cleaned up. Can't wait till the actual like edge of the icebergs is placed in here, so the world just looks more complete here. But that's going to actually wrap this up. So there's a lot of just tweaks and adjustments and things like that that they're doing right now. We're all just still waiting for the story changes and the tweaks that Jill's going to make, and the implications of her coming on board, and for Tom Joubert leaving, what that means for the story here. They've addressed the fact that the main structure of the story is going to stay the same. It's just the tweaks and some, I don't know if they're going to go off in any new directions and maybe add to things, but I know the main core of the story isn't going to change. So still, everybody's kind of waiting, curious to see what she's going to do with that. But that is it, everybody. If you like the video, hit the like button for me. If you want to continue to follow along with all of my content, hit the subscribe button for me. Thanks so much for watching.